And we're
Was I
live.
doing? Because we're super live.
Yeah, I said. Sorry.
I didn't hear that. Fuck it. Hey everyone,
Sorry
welcome
about that.
to the Kingdom of the Southern Kingdom of the Southern Gate. We're doing it live. Fiona, let's hit up boxes because, well, Fiona hasn't talked to her buddy in a while. They've gone from life-threatening situation to life-threatening situation. They haven't really touched a lot of bases. So yeah. Shoots over text box, says, hey, I'm coming over. Want some beers or not?
She will just get a text back. Sure.
Kick ass. And soon boxes hears a knock on the door.
And she will go and open the door.
Fiona's there. She's obscuring her face with a large set of beer. She got the good shit too. She didn't get that punk ass shit. And this is not a 6-pack. This is like a fucking 24-pack.
Gotcha.
She peeks out. Hey, girl.
Hey, come on in. Fiona into her house. It's just a little like apartment. It was given to her by the summer court. You know, she's got her axe, her signature axe, of the not lit fireplace, and she just leads her to a little kitchen / dining room area. And starts making pancakes.
Fiona's super down for pancakes. So tell me what's up with you.
Just having, I suppose, a regular quiet evening. Yourself?
Regular quiet evening.
She nods. I see.
Oh, BT Dubs, I'm single again. That's fun.
What happened with that?
Apparently, cuddles are not a proper sign of affection. She shrugs.
She just kind of like narrows her eyes, tilts her head to the side. That is strange.
Yeah, I thought it was weird too. Oh well. Hey, I'm cool though. I'm out of that crazy ass relationship drama.
She nods. Yes. Relationships are full of drama.
I mean, shit, I don't mind the relationship itself. It's just the... I don't know.
She nods. I understand what you mean. As she starts adding chocolate chips into the pancake batter that she's mixing.
I guess being there isn't enough, I guess? I don't know.
She's nodding along as she's making the pancakes. Like, it's obvious she's listening, but she's also concentrating on what she's doing.
You know that marks the second Trufe we've taken out, right?
She says, yeah, it's quite amazing, isn't it?
Well, we know the fuckers can bleed now.
She nods. Although I would be, I rather worry that it's almost a trick, to lure us into complacency. There's only one way to avoid that.
Keep getting better.
Nods.
Speaking of getting better, and speaking of not being complacent, there was a certain idea that I had a while back, and I think our issue during the hurricane highlighted it.
She kind of looks over at you. What idea would that be?
Boxes, we need some fucking cold iron.
Her eyes kind of light up a little bit as she says, like, her hand that's stirring the batter slows down. Yes, that would make things a lot easier.
Like, as far as we know, no one has fucking cold iron. I think that may be a good ace up the sleeve. That's the term, right?
I believe so.
All right.
Where do you think we could get some?
Fuck if I know.
Well...
Oh, sorry.
She stops. My apologies.
I mean, all I was going to say was you made your axe, right?
She nods.
If I get a hold of the stuff, would it be possible for you to make some?
I'd imagine I'd be able to.
All right.
I don't see it being too difficult.
All right, cool. There's a term we had growing up. I buy, you fly. It's not like that.
She nods. This makes sense. However, I do wonder where we would actually get the cold iron itself. I'll admit I don't know much about cold iron. Where you can find it. By its name, I assume it's not simply regular iron.
That's fair, that's fair. I'll do a little bit of research.
And she nods. It sounds like it would be a good idea. However, once we get it, I don't imagine it would be difficult to do what we need to with it. Make weapons out of it. Whatever kind of weapons we need.
I'm partial to something small myself. Since, well, it's hard to go around carrying a sword in the middle of Miami.
She nods. So something like a knife, or perhaps a garrote.
Oh, I never thought about a garrote. That's pretty fucking cool.
She nods. It would take advantage of our contracts as well.
Yeah?
As long as you keep your armor off of your hands to stop the cold iron breaking it. It would be quite effective, I'd imagine.
Right. Oh, speaking of buy, we have a human trafficking ring dismantled.
Her eyes narrow. I'm in.
Great.
Where do we start?
From what the king was telling me, our king, I mean, there were some flyers about some jobs that are posted around. He's pretty sure that that's a front for the ring. I'm figuring if we get a hold of one of those flyers, set it up, may be able to handle things.
She nods. All right. Sounds like a plan. Should we start tomorrow?
If we can, hell yeah.
She nods. Yeah, then again, I should say, it's a plan then.
Great, awesome. Sorry if I'm switching thoughts a lot. I do that.
She nods. No problem. I'm somewhat distracted myself as well.
With the pancakes or with something else?
Not really with anything in particular, just I don't know. Everything kind of has me unsettled.
Well, let's hear what you got to say.
She's silent for a moment as she finishes mixing the batter and puts it in the pan and sets it cooking. First, she turns around, crosses her arms, and kind of leans against the counter. Seems like everyone in the freehold is embroiled in their own little dramas, and nobody's watching the outside. Even the summer court seems somewhat lax.
Well, if that's a rule, I can definitely tell you Devon's an exception to it.
But, she nods. Sorry.
No, she was just going to say, but I get what you mean. You're worried that we're too busy worrying about whose bits are going into this other person's bits. We're kind of forgetting the enemy at hand.
Yeah.
I can definitely get down with that.
It's simply, I feel like there's more that we could worry about. It's just, I shall have to speak with Devon. You say he is better than the others. Sorry, were you going to say something? I don't want
to. Fiona's just nodding along. She just says that sounds like a positive thing.
I hope. She chuckles a little.
Since it seemed that in every situation, at least when it comes down to the real shit, have you noticed that it's generally us being the tip of the spear?
She nods. The Iron Spear should, of course, take the lead in such situations, but it is quite annoying.
I mean, not even just the combat shit. I was damn near in charge of fucking negotiation. Like, what the shit?
She tilts her head and nods. Yes, it is indeed rare for us to be in charge of such things.
And they put me in elemental at the front of that. People are weird. People are really weird. So...
This I agree with.
Yeah. It doesn't really seem like anyone else gets that. Like, they understand beasts just fine. They don't understand the fact that, well, stop.
She chuckles and nods. I understand exactly what you're saying.
I kind of wish I could just sit them down and be like, this is how you talk to elementals.
Except knowing them, it would simply have the opposite effect of what you intended, and they'd somehow still manage to misunderstand us.
Yup.
However, I get the distinct impression it's not that they don't. She stops for a moment and then continues again. I get the distinct impression it's more they don't want to acknowledge that we're not like them. Perhaps they're trying to be kind, but if they are, it's certainly annoying.
Right?
She's just sitting there, quietly, watching the whatchamacallit, the pancakes.
So, our issues with the other lost aside, do you have any ideas on maybe shoring up our defenses a bit? Unfortunately, summer's over, so we won't have too much to do. Well, too much to exert control over, at least.
She nods. I've been thinking, and I've been considering making our hollow that the motley is that we're sharing, making it a sort of fallback point that the courts can retreat to in cases of extreme need.
All right.
It could be easily stocked with weapons and such to form a veritable fortress if it's needed. Though I do hope it won't be. That would be. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, also a good headquarters.
She nods. This is also true.
I'm not going to lie. All the shit that I've seen with all this relationship drama and these people making political moves to pretty much satisfied needs between their legs. It may not be all cases, but it's definitely been some of them I've seen. I really fucking hate to say this. What if we need more personal power to make sure that that doesn't get too out of hand?
Alexis, she takes and puts a pancake on a plate, slides it over to Fiona as she sits down with her own plate, says, well, it would help if we were smart with it. And in this case, I feel Xavier would be a big help. But we'd have to be careful with it. The last thing we need is to try and go into this game and fall into the same trap that apparently everyone else fell into.
Right. I'll be real. I've tried sex twice. I didn't like it very much. I'm not really going to be too worried about that.
She nods. It's not something everyone needs.
Yeah, no. I need the people I trust, and I need my kids.
That is very noble, she says as she gets up, walks over the fridge. Do you want syrup?
Yes. So much syrup.
She literally just pulls out a extra container of syrup and tosses it over to Fiona.
Catches it. So maybe for right now we can put a bit more emphasis on moving up in the court before we start expanding to everywhere else.
That would be smart, I feel.
Well, I'd rather not just take over and make decisions for us without really saying how you feel about it. How do you feel about it?
I feel it's necessary, even if I personally don't have a taste for politics.
Not really. But some of the things I've seen others do or brag about doing, it's difficult for me to trust them to have my back during wartime. It's another reason why I really only look to you to come along. Now Xavier's in that too.
She nods. I understand. Coming from the background that all of us do. And I understand why you have even more difficulty trusting us than others.
Well, I was fairly trusting for a while, but I've learned that maybe I shouldn't be.
She nods.
as far as politics go, there's one person that worries me for right now.
Looks up. Yeah, she looks up, doesn't say. Sorry.
Oh, she just said the Winter King, Elias.
What worries you about him?
Two things. One is, I will not lie, one is a personal desire for a bit of payback. But the second one, you remember when the gentry came down into the city and someone had mentioned giving people up to the true Fae. They weren't serious about it, but it was something that was mentioned, and pretty much all of us said no. I looked to Elias and I saw him consider it. I think. I'm unsure. But I don't care what court you are. Even if you hide rather than facing combat. Surrender is not an option.
Her eye, Voxus's eyes kind of harden, and she says, "And here I was told that the Winter Court were infallible survivors. Evidently their king here does not exhibit that same ideal."
It is something to look into, at the very least. I could be wrong, and I could be reading him in the way that I would read lightning. Which, oh well. I'm not going to want to come out with any open accusations for a look.
She nods.
And so I will not lie. The other reason is still more personal. He decided that it would be in his best interest to meddle in my personal life.
I see.
I do not like having a man that I have never met try and dictate the course of my life. I will not be controlled by him. I will not be controlled, period.
Voxus, she nods and says, "I do indeed understand, but I do hope that your vengeance can hold itself long enough in check for us to think of a fitting payback."
Of course. I'm not stupid. She smiles.
Voxus just smiles back. You were. It's just emotions can run very hot with some people, and emotions can get the best of everyone at times.
That's understandable. And it has happened to me on one occasion very recently. I have no intention of letting it happen again, at least not so soon. Either way, despite my personal want to take a monarch down a peg, I would like to handle the traffickers first, since that'll be our proverbial foot in the door. I believe I used the term correctly.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, there you go. You're back. I couldn't hear you for a little bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, I opened Facebook and evidently that caused my computer to completely freeze up.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I just now heard you.
Yeah. Froze my computer up. Don't know why that happened. But yes, did I miss anything?
All Fiona said was that she would prefer to prioritize the the human traffickers first before
Okay.
handling weak monarchs.
Voxus nods and says, I'll make some weapons tomorrow before we... I'll start on some tomorrow. I'm assuming this will be a bit of a deep infiltration job, so it'll take some time. So I'll have time to make us some more subtle weapons. She says as she glances towards the mantle.
It is a nice axe, and it does sadden me that it may not be as subtle as we want.
She chuckles. It does quite fit with the aesthetic. I do love it.
Have you considered making, I don't know, a token axe that can shift in size?
Yes, I've considered it, but I would need to research fairy magic a bit more before I could figure out the process to make it.
Well, it's something we can do together.
Yes, it is indeed, and I would like your help if you were to offer it.
I would like to help.
She says, well, it seems that we are in agreement then. She sits there and she quietly eating her pancakes for a bit. What kind of weapon would you like?
Oh. For the cold iron weapons, or just a weapon?
Just a weapon in general. I was toying with the idea of making one for both yourself and Xavier. as a sort of gift.
We could get matching knives.
She nods. I like that idea.
Or if you prefer something non-lethal, we can get matching batons or something.
She kind of just chuckles and says, I prefer my weapons to be effective.
That's fair. I know I've had to non-lethally subdue before. The only reason I bring it up.
She nods. It is definitely something to take into consideration. Even if, personally, it's not something I would worry about overly much.
In the case of, loyalist, I would agree. Sometimes even other laws can turn on each other, though.
She nods. This is true. As unfortunate as it is. I think I'll make them throwing knives as well. Make matching sets for everyone.
Ooh, throwing knives are fun.
She nods, and have the added bonus of they can still be used as regular knives if we need.
Excellent idea.
And she kind of just quietly sits there munching away at her food. I had a brain fart there.
Oh, you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
Gosh, I actually forgot what I said too. Rip.
Okay.
Must not have been that important though then, so. Yeah. The eating. Hmm. She has a look on her face that she definitely looks really distracted. Like she's thinking about something in her head as she's eating. So
Is there something wrong?
she kind of jumps a little. Oh, no, I was just thinking over designs in my head. And she chuckles.
Care to share?
She looks around but doesn't see a scrapbook. So she just, or like a scrap piece of paper. So she just kind of takes some of the syrup and dabs it on the table, kind of drawing her design with it as best she can. They're almost like feathered knives. Um, with the with the design she draws, definitely, it's definitely a crude drawing. But from what you can see, it looks fairly like it'd be weighted for throwing. But it's definitely very pretty as well.
Do you do this professionally?
Not professionally.
Why don't you?
Just my art. I prefer to keep my art very personal. Even my art that's meant for war.
I understand that. I rarely dance in front of others. I wanted to be a dancer before I left. I never got any professional lessons, but that was okay.
Only glad to hear that you at least got some chance to enjoy your passion.
I still do get time sometimes. When everyone's asleep, I like to let go a bit.
It's good to let go. Sometimes everyone can benefit from it.
I think we can, especially.
That is very true.
Why did you join the Summer Court Boxes?
Advantage of, and I didn't want to be taken advantage of again. And I had skills that made me valuable.
Very well.
And yourself?
2 reasons. Three. One, very similar to my rage towards Elias, I will not be controlled. And I will not have the events of my life be dictated by someone that does not know me, or someone that is not a part of my life. Second, I constantly dream of the day I see my keeper dead at my feet. Rest assured, he will be dead at my feet before I die. Thirdly, lightning storms occur quite frequently in the summer. It made the most sense to me.
Voxus nods very serious at this. I can identify with almost all of those.
Was it the last one that got you?
Not necessarily. The wind is the wind. It's around all the time. But I admit, given the chance, I wouldn't love to see my keeper dead. Although I think most of us would. She's just sitting very comfortably at this point. Seems very relaxed. If you'd like, you can crash here. There's plenty of room.
Are you saying that because it is the proper social convention? Or because you would like me to stay here?
She looks at her with a look like, what do you think?
I am not sure. And I'd rather not dictate how you feel.
You're my friend. I offer freely. Most people don't even get the thought of an offer. And she kind of chuckles.
I will not be able to stay all night, simply because the children should probably wake up to me being home. But I can certainly stay here for a bit longer.
She smiles and nods.
I think there we can I think there's a good place to go ahead and call it.
Okay. So I'll let you do the outro since you did the intro.
So as Fiona goes in and stays for a few hours and heads back home, she is very glad that she touched base with her friend again. She feels much less isolated and alone than she did before, and she's been given very much a drive that she didn't have before. And we'll see how that shapes up. For now, thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and we will see you again soon.